everyone. I am coming to you live. Hello, thank you for joining. So I am going to talk a little bit about the differences between Om and Orgasmic Yoga. But before I get to that, here's this flyer that I made for my upcoming Orgasmic Yoga Series that I will be hosting in Los Angeles starting in just a couple weeks. So, information's on there, my email's on there to get in touch with me, and that would be really cool. So, hi everyone, thank you for joining me. If you're watching on the replay as well, feel free to follow me on all the social media. I'm at DrVixenne in a lot of places. I know I don't Periscope as often as I used to, but life is busy, you know, and things are moving, things are shaking. So for those of you joining me and who don't know who I am Victoria. I am DrVixenne, sexologist Vixen, all over in different places on the internet. And I am a sexologist, I am a sex coach and sexological body worker, which means I do some hands-on sex education to help people move through sexual concerns and to gain a deeper understanding of their bodies and how they work and whatnot. Hi, thank you for joining me. I'm just doing a little bit of a brief bio of who I am and why you should even watch this. So I am a sexologist, I'm a sex educator. I've done some workshops in the Los Angeles area where I'm based. And coming up in just a couple weeks, I'm going to be starting a 6-week Orgasmic Yoga Series. Hi, thank you for joining. So I'm going to flip this back around and show you my the flyer that I created again for the upcoming workshop with info there on the bottom. There's my my email there on the bottom if you need to get in touch and want to ask questions. I am being really diligent about interviewing people for this. Hi, thank you for joining. Cool. So please feel free to tap the screen and heart and like if you like what I have to say. That'd be really great. Feel free to follow me. Just hit the little Periscope person if you'd like to follow me. Thank you for asking. I'm going to get to that in just a minute. So to give a little bit of background, if you've heard of Orgasmic Meditation or Om, could you say yes or do like a thumbs up emoji or something like that? I'll give you guys a second. Om or Orgasmic Meditation, if you've heard of that, let me know. Oming, never heard of it. Okay, so half and half. I know only a couple people in here, but that's fine. So even for people who might be joining in a replay, you can also find this on Catch. I send my Periscopes to Catch. Hi, thank you for joining. So we're talking about what is Orgasmic Meditation, and then what is Orgasmic Yoga, and how they're a bit different. So I will be full disclosure, I have not done Orgasmic Meditation, okay? Okay, cool. I'm glad that you've been hearing things, hopefully good things. I mean, people's opinions may vary, right? But, so I personally have not done Orgasmic Meditation, but my understanding about it is a partnered activity, and it's very prescribed, it's very formulaic. So what they do is, this is the part that my understanding is it's very heterocentric. So a male partner and a female partner, very straight. So that may not work for some folks. It could also maybe be modified. Again, I am not an expert in this. I don't know a whole lot about orgasmic meditation, oming. Okay, but my understanding about it is that it is a partnered activity in which the receiving partner is the woman, the female, okay, the person with the vulva, and the male or the person on the giving end is meant to spend time Right. I think it can be done. Yeah, I don't want to say totally not. It's just my experience in hearing things about it has been kind of heterocentric and a little bit more straight. So, I don't know, maybe queer identified folks may not feel comfortable in Om. That's not to say that it doesn't happen. So, I want to cover all my bases on that. Thank you for pointing that out. So the male or the person doing the stuff is supposed to stroke and touch the clitoris in a certain part of it and for a certain amount of time. And I think it's for about like 15 minutes or something like that. And I think probably the point of it is to create awareness and to create communication and a bond, which is all very lovely. I'm all for more communication in relationships and sex. Talking and getting on the same page in negotiation makes things so much better and so much hotter. So awesome. Yay for that part. So that is sort of a very, very brief and very vague, maybe not as detailed, example of what orgasmic meditation is, Om, okay? But the thing is, the point I'm trying to get at is that it is prescribed or like specific and it's partnered, okay? On the same page on that? Om is a partnered experience. Okay. So the way that orgasmic yoga is totally different is it can possibly be a partnered experience, but it doesn't have to be. And the way I was taught to do it and the way that I run my workshops is it is an individual experience within a communal erotic setting. So I'm doing my thing, the person over there is doing their thing, another person over there is doing their thing. We just happen to all be in a circle all together. And it's very interesting. And the dynamic is not always the same every time. So, individual experience, communal erotic setting. Of course, you can do orgasmic yoga on your own, solo. There might be a difference in the feeling and how it might run for you. But that's, I mean, it's the same. Oh, here's a good parallel. It's sort of the difference of possibly just listening to music on your own versus going to a live concert, right? It's a different experience, even though the songs might be the same. I like that. I wish I had thought of that earlier. That's a great parallel. I'll pat myself on the back. Okay, thank you for the hearts. That really means a lot. So, so the thing with orgasmic yoga is, it was started several decades ago by Joseph Kramer and folks in the Body Electric. You can look that up. And the point of it is that the point of it was that they want to create a space where you can explore your own solo eroticism in a different way than it's just masturbating, just getting off, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. It's spending time, it's going deeper, it's really using conscious breath, movement, sound, touch, maybe even dance, if that's something you're into. It does not have to do with actual yoga. It can if you are so inclined. And it doesn't have to even have orgasms. Some people choose not to have any orgasms at all. Some people can't. Some people don't want to do that in a group setting. That's totally up to you. People are might be in different levels of undress, whatever they feel comfortable with. But also the way I run it is I run through some information, some background, and it's sort of, so we do for 45 minutes, and then we have 5 minutes of silent savoring, which might be the most difficult part. You'd think that getting naked in front of or around a bunch of people is the hard part, but actually sitting there quietly and savoring and thinking and reflecting is probably the most difficult part. Thank you again for the hearts. And if you're watching on the replay, feel free to also tap the screen. Thank you. And feel free to share this as well. I'd love more people to know about orgasmic yoga. So the thing with the way I do it in my groups is It's not like, okay, a yoga class where, all right, and now we move into the downward dog or warrior or any of those sorts of things. Certainly you're welcome to do any of that on your own. If you're a more kinesthetic, yoga inclined person, fantastic, love it. But I will be more just sort of encouraging people to stick to the intention that we set at the beginning. People might make individual intentions rather than goals of like, well, I would like to have all these orgasms. Well, maybe your intention is more like, I want to make sure I breathe more. Maybe I hold my breath a lot, or I hold a lot of tension in my body when I get more and more aroused. I want to make sure that I stand up at least a couple times and move around and dance around and flow around versus when I masturbate, I lay down all the time or I sit up in a chair. So doing different things that you can sort of mentally check yourself. Oh, okay, I said I would do this thing and let's do this thing. So I encourage people to check in on the intentions they set. And I remind them, hey, how's that intention going? I remind people to breathe because the more you breathe, the more you feel. So that's just delightful and delicious. I encourage people to get up if they haven't been getting up, if they are just sitting down or laying down or what have you. I encourage people to move, to dance, even sort of micro movements while we breathe and just pairing that sort of just inhaling and just something like that. Just sort of pairing, a hand movement with your inhaling and exhaling can be really, really profound. It's so simple to do. So I do these like sweet little encouraging things. Feedback I've gotten around that is that it's not invasive, it's not intrusive. Hi, thanks for joining again. That my encouraging things that I say throughout the 45 minutes is not invasive. It doesn't take them out of the moment. It's just sort of like, yes, we set the intention. Okay, let me check myself. Should I move around? Should I do things? So that's sort of been my feedback around that, and people have enjoyed the way I just sort of organically give pointers and suggestions in that way. So breathing is good, and slowing down for a second. And so you can see kind of how orgasmic meditation and orgasmic yoga are a bit different, just based on this. And so orgasmic yoga is so unprescripted. It could be different. It'll be different for every individual in the circle. It could be different for an individual the more times they do it. It's really fascinating. People have come in and they had an idea of what it would be, and either it was even better than that, all that and more kind of a thing, or parts of an Om in orgasmic yoga. I wonder if you could use parts of an Om in an orgasmic yoga. Certainly. I think I would say there's several things I would say about that. So the part about spending the time and touching a certain part of your anatomy in a certain way, if you're going to do that solo, that could definitely work in the circles that I run. But the way I run it, there's no cross touch. No one else is touching anyone else. So the partnered part of that would not work in the circles that I run currently. However, if you were to do an orgasmic yoga, just you and your partners, you make the rules before you start, right? Yeah. So it's kind of the way I look at that, and sort of kind of a lot of different kinds of sex too, is that you set the negotiations and you set the boundaries beforehand and you stick to it. It might be difficult to do, but you kind of get that sex brain, the oxytocin is flowing, get all turned on and everything, and you want to be sure that you don't add on during the heat of the moment. You can maybe take away, like, oh, I thought I would agree to this, but no, I'm not feeling that. So you might take away, but you don't add on of like, oh, we said no penetration, but yeah, no, I'm really hot and I want it now. So that sort of thing. So you can only take away, not add on. So in terms of that and negotiation, if you were going to do just a partnered orgasmic yoga, sure, you can make that happen, make it work for you. The point of it is to just do different things than what you normally do in your general masturbation routine. And it's also to move away from fantasy and porn stuff, which fantasy and porn are fantastic. Love it. Great. Awesome stuff. They get my juices going as well. But it's a different experience to set the intention of really feeling and really checking in with your body and breathing and sitting in that. So hopefully that all made sense. If you have any more questions, and feel free, if you feel comfortable, if you feel called to go ahead and share this Periscope with your followers if you'd like to. That would be really cool. I would appreciate that. The more people that get the word out, that would be really great. So again, I'm going to flip this screen also so that you can see my flyer one more time. And you can get some of the information on that. Also, if you go straight to my Twitter, which is at DrVixenne, which is the same as on here, you can, this post, this flyer is pinned at the top of my Twitter account. So it'll be the first thing you see. But if you like, that's that. If you're in the Los Angeles area, if you know anyone who is, I would love to hear from you if you're interested in attending. Tickets are going, and the price does go up from tomorrow. So I would love more people to sign up. Thank you so much. Thank you. You're awesome. I appreciated your questions and your clarifications. Very cool. So with that, let's see. I'm going to get up. Hopefully my phone is charged enough to do this. Self-love is so important. If we don't recharge ourselves, it's hard to be able to serve others and to relate with others in a meaningful, deep way. So, if there are any other questions, I'm still here for another minute or so. Meanwhile, I really would love to show you my view right now, which, notifications that drop down. I have an amazing, gorgeous view of the Empire State Building right now. I'm in New York. And I could get used to that. I could really get used to that. Isn't that gorgeous? We don't have that in Los Angeles. Yeah, just beautiful. It's a little bit overcast, cloudy right now, so we're not going to be able to get. Oh no. Oh, I hope I didn't. Maybe I was touching the mic. Thank you. Please follow me. Follow me on. I post the most often on Twitter. My periscoping has slid off a little bit. I apologize for that. Just life is really busy, and it's hard to stick to a schedule. I applaud the diligence of those periscopers who are like on every day at a certain time. They have devoted fans and hashtags, which maybe one day, but right now I can't quite do that. My schedule's a little bit too flexible. So any other questions on Orgasmic Meditation, or that is Orgasmic Meditation, both Orgasmic Meditation or Orgasmic Yoga? Well, all right then. I will hope to see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. No, I won't be showing. I'm also not an Om person, so I wouldn't be able to show that, number one. And number two, I would not want to violate the terms of service on Periscope. I don't think they allow nudity and things like that. So that's also another thing I wouldn't do. I don't show explicit material in that way. So sorry to disappoint, but I'm sure you can search it. I'm sure it's all over. There's probably classes in most major cities you can find kind of all the time. So I hope that's useful for you. Cool. And Any final thoughts? Jeopardy theme song. Do, do, do. All right, then. I will sign off. Thank you very much for watching. Please repost. Feel free to keep tapping if this was the replay. And follow me all over social media at DrVixenne on most places, Sexologist Vixen in other places. All right. Thanks so much for watching.